Adolf Hitler had declared in a public speech in late September of 1942 that the German army would never leave the city of Stalingrad. At a meeting shortly after the Soviet encirclement, German army chiefs pushed for an immediate breakout to a new line on the west of the Don. But Hitler was at his Bavarian retreat of Obersalzberg in Berchtesgaden with the head of the Luftwaffe, Hermann Göring. When asked by Hitler, Göring replied that the Luftwaffe could supply the Sixth Army with an air bridge. This would allow the Germans in the city to fight on temporarily while a relief force was assembled. The leader of the Luftflotte 4, Wolfram von Richthofen, tried to get this decision overturned. The forces under the Sixth Army were almost twice as large as a regular German army unit, plus there was also a corps of the 4th Panzer Army trapped in the pocket. Due to a limited number of available aircraft and available airfields, the Luftwaffe could only deliver 105 tons of supplies per day, only a fraction of the minimum 750 tons that the Sixth Army needed. The airfield at Pitomnik was one of the 7 airfields within the Stalingrad pocket after the Sixth Army was encircled, and the only one properly equipped to handle large amounts of air traffic. The field was also equipped with lights for night operation. According to a Luftwaffe officer, the place was overflowing with crashed aircraft and destroyed vehicles. There a Condor, here a Heinkel. Among the wrecks were several Junkers Ju-52s and Heinkel 111s. The edge of the runway were filled with wounded German soldiers whose conditions were deemed not serious enough for evacuation, and only seriously injured soldiers were actually evacuated by air. However, there were several problems with Pitomnik and the other German airfields in the Stalingrad pocket. Poor technical state of aircraft caused by a great number of flights. Mass, panic, and a consequence overload when boarding. Frequent attacks by anti-aircraft guns and aviation of the Red Army. Poor state of the runway, craters caused by explosion of shells and mines, and inability to land due to obstacles on the runway. Crowds of people waiting to be rescued, disabled aircraft and other equipment. Severe frost often prevented aircraft engines to start. In addition, a serious injury was required and consequently a medical certificate with an evacuation permitted. But as a rule, only the most fortunate men managed to leave the damned land, as the German cold soldiers often called the Stalingrad pocket. From the 15th of January, Pitomnik came under artillery fire of the Red Army, and 2 days later the airfield was captured, leaving the Sixth Army with Gumrak as its only supply airfield. After the fall of Pitomnik, Gumrak was the only one of 7 airfields around Stalingrad still in German hands. On the 22nd of January, the last Heinkel 111 aircraft left the airfield with 19 wounded soldiers. This was the last flight out of Stalingrad for the Sixth Army. Gumrak eventually was captured by the Red Army's 293rd Rifle Division on the 23rd of January 1943, leaving the Sixth Army without any means of direct support. Gumrak is currently the Volgograd International Airport, an airport located 15 kilometers northwest of the city of Volgograd, formerly Stalingrad. It comprises a civilian airport built on top of an older military runway, now demolished. In 2012, it was announced that Volgograd Airport would have a new terminal and runway built, which would bring the airport up to European standards.